if I tell you about a formula that if you follow it, that your emotional hurt can be lessened and overcome, you would say, tell me about it, right? But is it that easy? The answer is no. Because it requires something of us, something that so many of us, in fact, vast majority of us are not willing to commit to. It's going to require that you acknowledge that you cannot do it by yourself, and the ego does not like that. It requires that you are to be willing to place others ahead of yourself, and that is not easy. It requires daily emptying of yourself, and that is not easy. It requires the emulation of the one who did it perfectly, who did it wholesomely, who did it successfully. I'm talking about loving like Jesus. Loving like Jesus. I'm sure some of you are sitting, I can read your minds. You're saying, well, can anybody really love like Jesus? Yes. But can it be done perfectly? No. Can it be done easily? The answer is also no. But I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm going to tell you, because the major part of the problem that we are facing, and I'm talking about us who are the disciples of Jesus, major part of the problem is that we look at our world and we see that the world is filled with fuzzy notion of Christian love. And that is impacting us. Many a church, many a denomination have erroneously concluded that to love like Jesus is you exercise no condemnation of sin, that you make no distinction between right and wrong, that you make no clear line of demarcation between justice and injustice, that you have no appreciation for the truth. But on the contrary, the highest expression of love, if you want to love like Jesus, the highest expression of love is obedience to Jesus. What did he say? He said, if you love me, do what? Obey me. So what did Jesus mean when he looked at his disciples in John 13:15 and said, by this all men will know that you are my disciples if you love one another? I am sure some children would love to interpret this verse to mean that if my parents love me, they will let me do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. There are some spouses would like to interpret this to mean that if my spouse loves me, lets me do whatever I want to do, regardless of what it's going to cost the other spouse. Here's the confusion. If you love me, you do this. If you love me, you do that. And we see that all around us, everywhere we go. Where is the focus in all of this? All around us in our culture is me, the one who wants to be loved, the one who needs to be loved. Me, who wants you to express love toward me. But where's Jesus' focus? It's you who should be doing the loving. That you should express love. Don't worry about whether you get it back or not. The truth is, when you do, you will. Now, I think this is a very important distinction. And that's exactly what is being blurred in our culture today. The whole concept of love among our contemporaries is turned into sentimentality. People use love as leverage to get others to do for them selfishly what they want. The whole focus on love in our generation is on the recipient's demands. The whole emphasis on love is lack of condemnation of sin and what is wrong. Well, in reality, Jesus tells us that the mark of discipleship is to love like he loves. not the way these people defining and redefining love, that we love like Jesus. Jesus never loved sin. Jesus never winked at sin. Jesus forgave sin. Jesus, though he was sinless, and yet he died for sinners. In fact, it is out of love that we condemn sin.